Hey guys, so today I'm showing you how I made these very soft, cheesy garlic butter bread. So if you've ever had butter bread by itself, you know it's already soft and buttery and delicious. And now I'm adding cheese into it, adding a nice garlic butter topping onto the bread. It's so delicious, so let's get started with the recipe. Okay, so I'm starting by getting a large bowl, and in the bowl I'm placing some flour. I'm also going to add in 1 packet of active dry yeast and some salt. Next I'm going to add in some brown sugar, and then I'm going to give that a mix to incorporate all the ingredients together. And then I'm going to add in some melted butter. And once again, you want to mix it to mix the butter and the flour mixture together, alright? Okay, so after I add in the butter, I'm gonna start adding in the water. So you want to add the water a little at a time, because you don't want to add too much water and have a sticky dough, and you don't want a dry dough either. So take your time, add the water a little by a time, and use your hands to mix it until the flour comes into the shape of a ball, basically. So until the flour comes together, and then once it comes together, you're gonna start kneading it, and you want to knead this for 5 minutes. So make sure you knead the dough for about 5 minutes until it's soft and smooth. So when you touch the dough, it should kind of like spring back on you, and it should be very springy and soft. Okay, something like this. And once you finish kneading the dough, I'm gonna get some non-stick cooking spray, and I'm gonna spray the inside of the bowl with it. Then place the dough back into the bowl, flip it, and then we're gonna cover it and let it rest for 1 hour. So the reason why I flipped it in the bowl is so that the top of the dough has some grease on it, so it doesn't stick to whatever you cover the bowl with. Alright, and leave it, let it rest for 1 hour. Alright guys, so after the 1 hour has passed, we're gonna get ready and start making our butter bread. So on your countertop, you're gonna want to dust it with some flour to keep the dough from sticking. And then I'm gonna place my dough on top of the dusted counter surface. Next, I'm getting my rolling pin, and I'm dusting that lightly also. And what I want to do right now is kind of roll out the dough a little bit, so it's not so lumpy and it's more flat. All right, you don't want to roll it completely flat, just get it to be like one level and kind of flat in the shape of somewhat of a square. It don't have to be perfect right now. And what I want to do next is kind of cut out how many pieces of butter bread I'm gonna be making. So I'm cutting it like this, so straight across, and then I'm gonna cut it straight down to make 9 pieces of butter bread. Okay, so you just, hopefully I explained that good for you guys. You just basically try to cut them into even pieces as much as you can, and that's basically it. Okay, so next we're gonna work with 1 piece at a time. So put the other pieces aside, get 1 piece, and we're gonna roll it out into the shape of a square, very flat. Okay, so use your rolling pin and just roll it out into the shape of a square. Next, I'm gonna take some water, and what I want to do is wet the edges of the dough. This is so when we're sealing the butter bread, it seals perfectly and none of the fillings is gonna ooze out on us. So just wet around the rim of the dough. Okay, so next you're going to want to get a small bowl or a cup or something and place some softened butter in there. Okay, make sure the butter is softened, and also make sure it's good quality butter and salted butter. Very important for the butter bread. Okay, good quality butter. Don't use no margarine, you guys. Do not use margarine. And salted. And what we're gonna do, and it has to be softened, and we're gonna brush the pastry with the butter. put a good amount, but don't overdo it, and because you don't want to have a big mess. And just brush the inside of the pastry with the softened butter. Try not to get it too much to the edge where we have to seal it. And after you put your melted butter, you're gonna sprinkle on some cheese. So the cheese I'm using is a blend of Mexican cheese. You can use that, or you can use like cheddar cheese, will work perfectly fine also. And sprinkle it on top of the butter. Put a good amount, but again, we don't want to overdo it because we don't want to make a mess. Okay, and after we sprinkle on the cheese, spread it out pretty evenly and flat. And what we're gonna do is fold the dough in half to close it, okay? And then press the edges together so that it's sealed. After I do that, what I like to do is kind of fold up the edges a little bit, fold it to close it. You'll see me doing it in a second. I like to do this because it helps the filling stay in better and keeps the butter bread from like oozing out and creating a mess, okay? And also you want to work fast making these butter breads because we're working with butter, and yeah, butter melts pretty fast. All right, so yeah, I'm wetting the top of the dough again on the edges, and then I'm gonna like overlap it in a way. Okay, so after you do that, we're gonna brush the top of the pastry with some more softened butter, okay? So right on top here, just brush it with some more butter. I'm not gonna add any more cheese on top of here because I don't want to make a mess. If you want, you can try it, and then just fold the pastry in half again to close it and seal it, okay? So just fold it in half, close it, kind of press the edges together just a little bit. And this is how it should be looking once you're done. So I'm gonna place it on a sprayed baking dish. Make sure you grease the baking dish so it doesn't stick to the bottom of it. And I'm gonna finish making the rest of my cheesy butter bread. All right, so just go back and do the same thing we did for the remaining pieces of dough. Okay, so here I'm gonna show you guys real quick. If you want to add some freshly chopped parsley on top of the cheese before you seal it, you can. It'll add like a nice light flavor to your cheesy butter bread. All right, this is optional. If you'd like to, you can. So yeah, I'm gonna finish making the rest of my pastries and then we'll move on. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys how to make what we're going to top off the bread with, okay? So in my frying pan or saucepan, I'm going to place in some butter. So place in the butter, and then I minced a few cloves of garlic. I'm going to add that into the pot as well. And we're going to let that cook for about like 1 to 2 minutes so the garlic can soften a little and start to release its flavor. Once it starts releasing its flavor, turn off the stove. You don't want the garlic to burn at all, okay? So also you can add in some fresh parsley in here as well. So chop up a little bit of fresh parsley and add it in the pot. Let it cook with the garlic and turn it off. And now I'm gonna take that melted butter and garlic and parsley mixture, and I'm gonna brush the top of my butter breads. So brush the top of all of the butter bread and the sides too with that delicious garlic butter mixture. Alright, so next I wanted to give you guys different like a variety of different ways you can do this pastry. So if you want, I'm gonna show you, if you want, you could put cheese on top of it also. Alright, and it's gonna come out just cheesy and delicious with a nice like cheesy crust on top. It won't be burnt and it'll be perfect. Alright, so you can sprinkle some more cheese on top of the butter breads, or just the garlic butter topping we made, and place it into the oven that way if you'd like. Alright, so either way it works perfectly fine. It depends on the outcome you would like, or you could do both, a mixture of both like I did. So I'm just gonna finish brushing the top of my delicious butter bread with the garlic butter topping, and then I'm gonna sprinkle a few with cheese on top so it'll be extra cheesy and delicious. And then I'm gonna place them, so I have my oven preheating to 375 degrees, and then I'm gonna place my butter bread into the oven to bake for about 25 to 30 minutes until they're lightly golden brown and just delicious looking. Do not let them get too burnt. Once they turn lightly golden brown and they're looking done, remove it from the oven. All right. Okay, and here is my first batch finished. So what I'm gonna do is take the garlic butter parsley mixture we made, and I'm gonna brush the top of the butter bread again with that mixture. So nicely glaze the top and the sides with it again. It's gonna look shiny and delicious. And as you can see, this is how the ones with the cheese on top looks, and behind is without the cheese. After you glaze it, it's gonna look delicious and just buttery, and if you touch it, you'll see how soft it is. And you guys, here is the second batch of butter bread I made. These are, they look so delicious and they're so soft. You'll see me touch it in a second and it just springs right back up. So soft and delicious. So yeah, you guys, I just finished brushing the top with the garlic butter and parsley mixture, and we're finished. We are done. These are so yummy. I feel like this is a good replacement for like regular old dinner rolls on your table for dinner. Have one of these, and you can make them smaller so that you're not having too much of it. If you like, just cut the dough in smaller pieces before you fill them up, and yeah, look how soft they are. So yeah, that's it for this recipe. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope you give the recipe a try. If you do, let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to see my upcoming videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.